So it's a tube map. So far, so familiar. What's it mean?
It looks like I'll be following the red line and you'll be on the blue.
But sometimes we're connected.
Well, that's because we're both on the leadership journey.
I've never seen myself as a leader. A manager, yes, but not a leader.
Maybe they want you to start thinking of yourself as both.
Chance would be a fine thing. Like you're going to let me do any leading.
So maybe we all have to change. Although I don't see what's so hard about being a leader. Isn't this just another way about telling us the glaringly obvious? It's common sense, isn't it? I just tell my team what to do and make sure they do it. And as long as I get daily updates and they don't make any mistakes, everything's fine.
Yes.
All right. So what do you think leaders should do then? Hug their staff every day?
Well, for me, it's more about trust, really, and knowing yourself.
Yes, I do know who I am.
No, I mean knowing what you're like and how to get the best out of people and inspire them. I mean, in each of us, we're all different, aren't we? All have our ways of doing things and our foibles. And sometimes you have to change how you lead according to who you're talking to, if you see what I mean.
Not sure that I do, actually.
Well, there's this tool called Insights that I've done, and it's really helped me to understand why I do things in a certain way and why I avoid other things like the plague. It's an online questionnaire that you complete, and it tells you your psychological preferences.
Psycho what?
The way that you're kind of hardwired to, like, do things. It doesn't mean that you're always going to do things that way. It just helps you to understand what you do automatically.
Look, you're going to have to do better than that, you know. Look, I'm lost.
OK, look. In Insights, there are 4 different colours that represent 4 different personality types. Each one has a different way of communicating, different strengths, different ways of even thinking. So if you're red, you want it done and you want it done now. You know how you get really impatient with us when we walk into a meeting late and you want to get it started, get it sorted and go? Well, that's what they call fiery red behaviour. And then there are the sunshine yellows. They're the ones in the meeting that always have loads to say. You know, the lot that cheer us up when we're all getting a bit depressed by it all. Then there are the greens. You know Mary, how she's always so calm and organised and patient. She's so reliable and looks after us all. And then there are the blue types. They're the calm but clever ones. Like Chris. He always asks for loads of detail and then he checks with us that we're not just going to go off and do something without thinking it through properly. He never gets involved in gossip or noise and he usually manages to ask that killer question.
OK, so we're all different. I get that. I wonder which one I would be. Tell me a bit more about the colours.
Well, if you imagine you were a doctor and I was coming in to see you, if I was red, and red are extrovert and thinking, I might do it like this. Good morning, Doctor. I was playing squash yesterday in the championships and I got to the final and fell over on my arm. Now I have to play again next week in the area championships and want to know how quickly you can fix it. If I was yellow and they're extrovert and all about feelings, I might do it like this. Hi, Doctor. How are you? What a lovely day it is. Great weather for a barbecue. Must invite some friends over at the weekend. Anyway, I was having a great game of squash with some friends and Sarah, who I haven't seen for ages because she's got herself a boyfriend now and you know how that is. Anyway, great game and me being the plonker that I am, I fell flat on my face and I've hurt my wrist. So could you kindly have a look at it and tell me if I can carry on as usual? It's been aching a little bit, but not too bad. Anyway, how are you? How are the family? And is your little boy still mad on cricket? And if I was a green patient, put my green hat on now, green are introvert and feeling. I might do it like this. Good morning, Doctor. How are you? Oh, you must get fed up with us all complaining all of the time, especially when you're not feeling well yourself. How are the family? Well, I was playing squash yesterday with some friends. We were playing for a charity tournament and I rather stupidly fell over on my arm. Now, I don't really want to take up too much of your time because there's a queue in the waiting area, but just wondered if you could take a look at it, please, and just tell me if I need to go to hospital or not. Thank you so much. And if I was the blue patient, put my blue hat on, blue are introvert and thinking, I might do it like this. Good morning, Doctor. I am a little concerned as this appointment was arranged for 20 minutes ago and I shall now be late for my next. I was playing squash on court 3 at the Fairweather Country Club last Thursday, and I fell over at the back of the court whilst reaching for a shot with my right arm forward and my left ankle twisted, and I fell over. Now, I landed on my wrist, and since then I've been having pains into my arms for the last 24 hours. I would like you to have a look at it and give me your diagnosis, and also want to find out, will I need to go to hospital? And what are the risks of MRSA in hospital? I'd like an introduction letter from you with today's date, please, and I will, of course, be seeking a second opinion, etc., etc.
Yeah, that's good, that is. Like, I see what you mean. I can see a bit of all of the colours in me.
Well, you will, because we all have all 4 colours in us, but we're likely to have a preference, one that we exhibit more often than the others most of the time.
So I wonder what others see in me. I mean, it's all very well knowing who I am, but what does everyone else think?
Good point. So part of the journey will be to find out and think about the impact that you have on others, especially the people that you're leading. You need to find some truth tellers, colleagues that will be giving you honest feedback, and ask them to think of some words that best describe you on your best and worst days. That way you can join up what you know you're like with how others experience you.
That all sounds a bit risky to me. And no one around here would probably dare tell me anyway.
Well, they would if you assured them that you want them to tell you the truth in order to help you. That's why I said that trust is so important. You have to know that I'm coming from the right place, that I've got your back. I'm not just giving you feedback because I want to have a go at you. I'm doing it because I want our relationship to improve, and also to give you a chance to consider how you come across to me sometimes. Try me.
Go on then. What am I like?
Well, on your good days, you are purposeful. And on your worst, you come across as, well, angry.
Well, that's fair. I do get angry some days, especially if things go wrong.
Which is fine, but sometimes that can come across as a bit intimidating, and it stops me from making decisions without checking with you first. And I know that annoys you, but if I'm really honest, I'm frightened of what your reaction's going to be.
Well, at least that's honest. So what do I do now?
Well, it says here that you've got a Groundhog Day coaching session.
Groundhog Day? Isn't that the film with Bill Murray in it? The one where he was stuck on the same day until he changed the way he did things?
Exactly. The session deals with things that you do again and again in the same way. So, for example, the next time someone makes a mistake and you're about to blow your gasket, you'll have a strategy up your sleeve to try a different outcome. Until we change our behaviour, our old habits, nothing will change, and it will make all this talk about leadership meaningless. It has to start with us and what we do as leaders in order to make a difference. Otherwise, we'll keep doing the same things and getting the same outcomes.
Yes, all right. So, back to this leadership journey then. What else will we do?
Well, it looks like there are going to be loads of workshops which will give us a chance to think and practice and get some direct feedback about how to manage business performance, my stakeholders, my teams, how to make good decisions, and some online simulations. Ooh, I love those. Well, it will give us a chance to think about what qualities a great LU leader needs to have.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Well, what would you say they are then?
Well, I guess, trust would be up there. If I didn't trust my leader, I wouldn't follow them. And you can't be a leader if you don't have anyone wanting to follow you. You'd be more like the Lone Ranger then. And on that note, delegation will be up there too. Delegate well so that everyone makes decisions at the right level. It'd be so much easier if I didn't have to do everything myself.
You can say that again. Well, I'd really like it if we could all manage performance better. And I don't just mean bad performance, I mean celebrating and noticing good performance and saying well done and thank you more often. Really supporting and developing each other, not just telling each other what to do and by when.
Like I do, you mean?
Well, we're all on a journey after all. We all have things to learn, even when it's hard.
You know what? I think you might be right, though I hate to admit it. I want London Underground to be a place where we all feel responsible for our own areas, are supported to make business-like decisions and work closely with other teams. It's about giving the customer a great experience.